Hello and welcome to a new video. Today we're gonna take a look at the new Victreebel with the new move Magical Leaf in the Open Great League. We got some battles sent to us here from someone in Singapore. He said that he doesn't really play PvP that often anymore, but like he played back in the day, so those going to be still in Ace rank battles here, they said. But yeah, let's take a look here at some battles that we can see here. We're going to see a team of Dugong, the Annihilate, as well as the Victreebel in the back. So we don't even have like a super toxic team with Victreebel, but don't worry. We're going to showcase a very toxic team around Victreebel, very likely. Maybe even today still, I have to see. I still have all my 6 battles for today, so I will definitely take a look today at the Victreebel for the Open Ultra League. And maybe I even make another video for the Shadow Victreebel in the Great League as a toxic team. So let me know in the comment section if you want to see this. If you want to see this, feel free to leave a like, and if you appreciate the early content towards the community day, feel free to subscribe as well. But let's take a look here at the battles. Again, they said they were in kind of lower-ish elo range, but let's see how this is going to go here. We have Annihilate having the stun moveset of Night Slash and Shadow Ball, very likely the safe-swap for this team. We're going to have the Dugong in the lead, which honestly, Dugong is like such a strong Pokemon in the current meta. Shadow Ball is going to be able to get the shield there. We will see the Victreebel using the new Magical Leaf now. And this is actually kind of interesting here. As you can see, we're going to generate way more energy than before. And now it's already going to have a Leaf Blade. But what I also can see here is that it still does quite a lot of damage as a fast move damage there, which is really good to see because, as you're going to see as well, the X Leaf Blade is going to knock them out already. But just the fast move pressure is still there. So this looks really, really promising so far. Okay, let's move on to the next opponent. We're going to have a Miltank in the lead. They're not really the biggest meta threat, but actually, I was planning on using Miltank in a regional like last season, like not this season, like basically a year ago, when Miltank first really got like rollout and stuff like this, and Tackle got buffed, I think, as well. I really wanted to use Miltank in a regional, never did because I can't chicken out of it, but it had actually some potential there. But here we're gonna see the Toxic Rogue, which of course is now running the move Shadow Ball as well, which is going to be a little bit of a trickier one, maybe. Let's see if they're going to use, they are not using a shield. This is very risky because again, Shadow Ball does exist. But let's see here, the opponent is gonna go for a Mud Bomb again, so they're gonna use a shield. The Shadow Ball is coming through as well, which is going to be able to force the final shield as well. And they can mostly just go for the Night Slash at this point. They don't really reach anything else anyway, so this is going to be able to connect. It does actually get the knockout, which I did not really think it would. But Miltank is not going to be able to knock you out very fast because Tackle is double resisted, and Dugong can still go for the charge move immediately to knock out the Miltank. In the back is going to be a Gligar, so basically the Victreebel is most likely not going to see the battlefield here in this battle, as this is going to not actually be able to knock them out. Oh, Gligar is more bulky than I actually expected, but let's move on to the next opponent. Skuntank. Very interesting matchup here. Honestly, this is the thing as well, like I saw a stream yesterday where also I think like Homestead's Henry was there, rise to the occasion. Also like it's Exon and like quite a lot of people, the Nedequins, these Wireless as well, which is my brother. They were all basically talking about potential move changes for the upcoming season. And there was like something that was also pointed out that basically poison types are next to impossible to play currently, which I do agree with as well. Like it's not like a hot take or anything like this, but like something that I also kind of was thinking about. I honestly don't know how to really make poison types super viable right now while we play our own poison type, but it's like more grass type than a poison type, to be fair. But currently there is basically a meta of Whiscash plus these Skarmory, so it's a little bit tricky to run poison type Pokemon. Here we're going to see actually a Pyro in the back. That's kind of spicy. Might be a little bit tricky for this backline though, because, oh never mind, they're going to get an attack boost here. Double attack boost that might actually help them out, as they're going to go for... They actually get 2 back-to-back attack boosts here, which of course now means it is Night Slash. It's going to be enough to knock them out, and we can move on to the next opponent. Honestly, I feel like this is like the first time I really pay attention to it, but like this is like already when we have like the new update for the characters as well, I still cannot get used to it. I have to say I still can't get used to the avatars. Like I think the opponent here is like just the standard plain one that you just have if you don't do anything on it. And it looks so weird. Like let me know in the comment section as well, what do you think about the avatar update? I talked about it in the last live stream that we did as well. I'm gonna try to do live streams, by the way, now every Thursday. I might not be able to do it in 2 weeks of time. I think I should be able to do it this next Thursday, but maybe the one afterwards I won't. But then I will most likely do a live stream on the weekend because Lily is going to be here, so that's going to be interesting. But yeah, definitely want to do a little bit more live streaming on this channel as well. But basically, yeah, I'm still kind of cannot get used to the current avatar update. But yeah, for me, actually, for the avatars itself, the biggest issue is just the amount of time that Niantic wasted on fixing something that didn't really need a fix, while there are so many other things that needs a fix, like PvP as well. Like, in terms of like content updates, there would be so much that they could do, but they rather focus on making avatars that look pretty horrendous, so that's great for us as well. You're going to be able to see another double attack boost by Annihilate. Honestly, Annihilate is most likely one of the strongest Pokemon right now, maybe the strongest Pokemon. It's so insane if it gets the attack boost, but let's move on to the next opponent. Honestly, so far, Annihilate is just stealing the show for everyone. Like, basically, this Pokemon destroys most teams here on its own. So we haven't really seen too much from the Victreebel, but yeah, I'm definitely going to showcase Victreebel at least once, maybe twice even today, so definitely stay tuned towards that. Here we're going to see the opponent going for a Sky Attack with their Altaria. This player can still get to another Night Slash, which is going to be able to force a shield, which is great for them. But yeah, they don't even get to another move, which is kind of sad. They can go into the Dugong. In comes now a Greninja. Greninja is kind of interesting as well. Greninja is going to not appreciate the Victreebel in the back, so maybe we see actually something from the Victreebel now in this game. They actually decided to go for a Drill Run first. No, not sure if I would agree with that. It's kind of sad because now Victreebel doesn't really get to play against it, and now it's going to be a Marowak in the deck, so yeah, it's going to be a tough one for them. They decide to go for a bait here. I don't know if the bait is going to be the correct call. It is actually the correct call. The opponent decides to use a shield, so that's great. And they decide to let this move go through, which is a good call because that's a Bone Club. And I think this should be also a Bone Club. And yes, they're going to let this move go through as well. That's very good for them, as now a Drill Run is still coming through. They were still able to survive because of the bait prior. That was a very smart play by them. Now we can see actually a Victreebel knocking out most likely the Marowak from the opponent. I think it's just another Bone Club, to be fair. I don't know if they had enough energy. It is just another Bone Club. And they just try to go for the full farm down, and that's kind of hilarious. Honestly, I feel like Girafarig is like such an underrated Pokemon in the current meta. Kinda wanted to try this one out as well. I know that Homesize Henry did a video about Girafarig as well, like 2-3 weeks ago or whatever, but I had it on my list at the same time as well. But yeah, then I just decided not to play it, but shouts to him as well. Like, very smart to play this Pokemon because it's actually kind of interesting in the current meta. Having options to have basic confusion right now is very cool, and there's a different Pokemon that I'm mostly going to showcase maybe tomorrow that also has confusion in the current meta, which is also kind of interesting. So definitely stay tuned for this. Maybe guess already which Pokemon I mean. I already teased on Twitter. But here we're going to see the Sludge Bomb coming through against the opponent's Victreebel. They can go into the Dragonite as this player can retaliate with their Dugong. Dugong is definitely going to appreciate this matchup. Going for a shield immediately, I think it could have just been a Dragon Claw. This is silly to go for a shield here. Like, this just guaranteed basically a Psychic Fangs you still survive it. So now you shieldless and you swap out into the Annihilate, but you're lucky that they did not get to another Psychic Fangs here because it was very close for them to get there. But can you still knock out the Dragonite here with the Annihilate? You can still get to the move, but is it enough to knock them out? Because otherwise they might be able to go for a Superpower against you. It is enough, and so you can still win. That's kind of great for you. A lot of Dragon-type Pokemon here, apparently. Altaria in the lead is going to be great, and it's very weird that the opponent decides to swap out into then Bastion. I would not really agree with going for this play because you have a Fighter in the back, by the way, but it is going to be fine because you can still hardwall them, and the opponent apparently has enough. Next opponent, Dugong has another great lead here, and we're gonna see finally a very good matchup for the Victreebel. We're gonna see the Say-Swap of the Lantern. Honestly, like, Water-type Say-Swaps are quite common, and so I do think it's kinda good to have Victreebel in the back currently in the current meta. And you see already how much energy we were able to charge up there. Like, we would be able to get up to most likely a Sludge Bomb now. Also, by the way, you're running Sludge Bomb now on the Victreebel over the Acid Spray just because you do a little bit less fast move pressure, but with this you're going to have a little bit better coverage on this Pokemon. So I would agree also to go for Sludge Bomb over the Acid Spray on this one, especially for the non-Shadow variant. Non-Shadow variant of Victreebel, by the way, is now viable in this kind of format, so you don't need the Shadow variant if you have Magical Leaf. Magical Leaf kinda allows you to also use the other one. I'm curious on how good the Shadow variant is. I definitely want to try to take a look at this today as well, still, but we will find out shortly, hopefully. My C-Day starts in 3.5 hours, so we will see that. Here we're going to be able to see that the opponent is going to go for another Brutal Swing. It's going to do some decent damage, going to knock you out as well, but the Dugong is still going to be able to win this one. The opponent swaps out here into the Toxic Croak. Again, Toxic Croak would be able to outspeed you now for the Shadow Ball, so like you most likely want to use a shield here. And they don't. And this game is over most likely, I would imagine. I don't think that was the smartest play that he could have done. But I don't know, maybe like they said that they didn't play PvP recently as much anymore, so maybe they didn't really know that the Toxicroak now has the move Shadow Ball, so not too sure. But yeah, I asked on Twitter, by the way, for people to send me stuff. If you are also from that region, I always kind of appreciate early content for this kind of stuff. The link for showcasing anyway is always in the description. I can't always put everyone who sends in battles to showcase because like, yeah, there's like limited amount of slots and a lot of times doesn't really fit what I kind of want to showcase on my channel. So, but yeah, for like those early things, if you're from those regions that have it a little bit earlier, would always appreciate it if you would send me in some stuff. Helps me out quite a bit. Here we're gonna see the opponent going to have to deal with the Dugong now, which is actually kind of an okay matchup for, you know, as the Dugong can get the debuff. It can still take a Shadow Ball. I don't think you get to another move. You cannot. So I think it's going to be a loss. Yeah, this is going to be a loss, apparently. Next opponent, we're going to have another Altaria, like so many Dragon-type Pokemon. In comes a Scrafty. You can still at least retaliate this one with the Annihilate. It's actually kind of interesting because they would have Foul Play here that does more damage, but I guess they also have Acid Spray. Basically, all the charge moves are resisted on the opponent's Pokemon, but it doesn't matter if you can just farm them down anyway. And so the opponent's Altaria is now forced to get hit by a Shadow Ball. Here it might be actually better to go for the Night Slash spam because there might already be in range for that. But yeah, they decide to use a shield on the Shadow Ball. I don't think you get there in time. You cannot because of the Acid Spray. But at least you can still farm them down with the Dugong. Dugong is bulky. The Victreebel is not bulky, so not using a shield here is a play that I agree with. And this Umbreon is definitely needing the use of a fast attack, like a fast TM basically. Because this is not the right one. Basically, what I also have to say, like what I see in like lower-ish elo range is that a lot of people are running Pokemon just with the wrong moveset, which I find quite interesting. Like if you are someone who is in like lower elo range and you don't know really what moveset you want to run on the Pokemon, go to PvPoke. PvPoke has the movesets for you listed up. This is kind of where you want to go for knowing what you want to run on Pokemon. Anyway, for some it's kind of different maybe in some scenarios, but usually it's the better way to go for. Here, this is going to be a little bit of a trickier lead for you as well, because both your save swap of the Annihilate as well as your lead is going to be a little bit weak against it. So I guess you kind of want to just stay in here and go for 2 drill runs. I guess that's your best play. Or you swap out into a Victreebel and get hard-walled by a Skarmory. That's maybe also a way. That's not something that you should do, by the way, if you play games yourself. Like, basically, there are certain Pokemon that are decent as save swaps, for example, Annihilate. And there are certain Pokemon that are just not decent for save swap, for example, Victreebel. If you have a team, like, built like this, you kind of always want to keep the same kind of save swap, like, you kind of want to have, like, at least an idea of what you can use as a save swap. Sometimes, like, both Pokemon in the back are fine as save swap. In this case, it is not, because just there is, with Skarmory, the hardest answer for Grass-type Pokemon quite commonly in the back for teams here right now, so it is not really smart to do this. Basically, what you can do with this team is you can kind of try to bait it out, I guess, with the save swap of the Annihilate. You can try to bait out like a flying type Pokemon and then sweep endgame with the Victreebel. But again, like, yeah, this is most likely not going to be something what you want to do here anyway. You don't really want to go for the Victreebel as your save swap. Victreebel save swap is kind of silly. Let's see here what this player is going to do. They can still go for the farm down, use a shield here against a potential Ice Beam. That's definitely the way to go. Let's see what the opponent is going to have in the back. Can they still win with just the Victreebel? Can we see a Victreebel sweep? That would be kind of nice, right? I don't think we can see this against the Lucario. I really wish Lucario would be better. This looks just like a Power Punch, by the way. It is a Power Punch, and so this game is very likely over at this point. But yeah, Lucario would be really cool if it would be better. Like, do you know anything on how you could make Lucario better? Like, this is the thing as well. I don't think there is really anything. It would learn High Jump Kick. If you haven't seen my video about the recent updates in the code, definitely check this one out, because High Jump Kick is one of the moves that was found in the code as well. Here, this player is running a team, apparently, that's being double weak to counter, which is great for Annihilate. And so they decide to forfeit. And so it's going to be it for this video. Thanks for sending in those battles. Hope you enjoyed the content. And I see you later on for an Ultra League review and most likely also a Great League review for the Shadow variant of Victreebel. So stay tuned and I see you then. Bye bye.